Thank you, Adrian. Really excited to be here, and want to thank Adrian again for putting all this together. And very happy to have a vibrant community of developers. And one of the reasons that we're here today is to tell you about Revelator Labs and what we're building in-house, which we are finally opening up to the developer ecosystem and also the music and artist ecosystem. And we hope to connect between music artists and developers to build a lot of new paradigms on the bridge between music and finance. So we think there's a lot of opportunities. And we'll just have the presentation, but we can start without it. So we're going to have our main talk on Friday. So very happy to see you all there. It's going to be a full hour diving into the platform, the tech, and what we're going to do. And today we just had the opportunity to do the opening keynote as kind of the sponsors of the, one of the sponsors of the conference. And apart from that, we're going to be located in the room just across the hall with some showcase of some partners that have come to join us here and some showcase of our technology. So feel free to come over to the room, visit us. We also have some t-shirts and swag, so happy to see you all visit us throughout the conference. So just to give you a little bit of background, Revelator has been in the music industry as a supply chain provider or music distributor for a decade now. And we've been able, oh, awesome, cool. And feel free to sign up and connect. So we're actually revealing Revelator Labs today, which is the Web3 and innovation arm of Revelator. So as a music distributor, Revelator deals with collecting music files from labels, artists, and any catalog owners, and wrapping them inside a metadata file called DDEX, providing that to the streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, then receiving revenue and distributing the money back to all the rights holders. This is today happening on centralized servers. There's a very competitive market of digital distribution, and the royalties are then going through a very opaque system through a lot of intermediaries until the individual artists or rights holders gets paid. So the unique proposition of Revelator Labs is to essentially tokenize the cash flow of these royalties. So I just want to disambiguate the very big difference between music NFTs, which I'm sure you all heard about over the last few cycles, where the actual media is put on chain, and then collectors can have a limited amount of copies of the same song, which is, I'm sure you guys heard of Sound XYZ and Catalog, and a bunch of really interesting projects. Some of them are also integrated with us. But we consider ourselves to be a real-world asset tokenization, because the actual royalties coming from Web 2 are still flowing through a very manual and, let's say, and fragmented process. So the difference between music NFTs and tokenized royalties is that the revenue coming from off-chain, which is over $12 billion on streaming, is going to be able to flow on-chain. So just a bit of a backdrop. Assume most of you know that music has always been in the forefront of disruption since peer-to-peer technology was invented, and college kids can share torrent files, leading to Napster. Music has kind of gone through a lot of cycles since the internet. And it's also one of the slowest industries to adapt. And for that reason, we also have seen a lot of alternative projects. As soon as blockchain was enabled, a lot of artists say, hey, we can sell directly to fans, and we can use NFTs to do that, which is great. We believe there's a lot of room for this type of innovation, but at the same time, we also don't see the consumer behavior changing. So the streaming economy is amazing for consumers because they pay $7.99 a month and get access to all the music in the world. For artists and rights holders, it's not that great. So what we want to do is we want to enable new forms of monetization and essentially make the royalties self-custody in the hands of the rights holders. So One more thing I want to say about music, it's also a very powerful tool to change culture. Just one anecdote, an example. I don't know if any of you were around when Mac OS 9 was the operating system of Apple, and Apple computers were really for academia. And music is what helped Apple change from kind of a boring software company and computer company into become a cool company with iPod and the revolution they did in the way people consume music. So one of the side effects of the iPod and how Apple digitized music consumption is that the entire supply chain of music became from physical, right? Record labels used to sell plastic mainly. The IP was embedded onto records or CDs. And distribution was a very physical thing. Since iPod, downloading songs became the main method of consumption, then the entire supply chain was digitized. And the interesting thing is that even though the supply chain is digitized, as I said, the royalty economy is completely relying still on paper contracts and gated databases, and it's not very efficient. So that's kind of our main mission. The project that we're basically putting out to enable this is in a decentralized and permissionless method is called the Original Works Protocol. So until today, the Original Works Protocol was an incubated project within Revelator, and we're very excited to be opening up our repositories and our developer kits to allow builders and artists to connect and build on top of the platform. So as I said, on Friday, today we only have 10 minutes to kind of explain where we come from and what we do. On Friday, we're going to have a really deep dive into all the different products, and we'd love to meet you guys and connect and teach you more about what we do. We're also very happy to have two of our companies that are launching on Revelator Labs with us. One is called Tallracks, and they're going to be co-presenting with us. And another one is called Keiku. So they're all going to be here and tell you how they leverage our technology. One more kind of point that is really important for us is we really see the music economy as an opportunity to bridge the gap between the Web 2 and Web 3 culture. And until now, it's almost like artists in the beginning of their career have to make a choice. Do I want to get mass audience and give up a lot of my control over how I monetize my IP? Or do I go in the Web3 culture and then I'm selling direct to artists, and there's a big cultural gap between the two? We believe that if we make two steps, we see our Revelator Labs as having two missions over the next few years, and that's why we're opening this up to the developer community. Our goal is to make as many showcases of how royalties on-chain unlock new paradigms. So just to give you one example, if I have all of the rights in my own wallet and I want to incentivize promoters to promote my song, I can give them 0.5% of my royalties by doing a single transaction in 2 clicks. Today, if I want to give somebody 0.5%, I have to contact an administrator who needs to register the promoter and add him to the database and then give him 0.5%, which is not scalable, and then also to make micropayments on small amounts just doesn't scale. With smart contracts, we can split a single revenue payment from Spotify to 1,000 different rights holders. So that's just one example. Another example that you'll hear about with Thought Digital, we've created DeFi pool lending for royalties. So if you have royalties flowing into your wallet for consecutive 6 months, the cash flow that used to be in fiat is now a native crypto asset. So you can deposit that in a DeFi pool. The smart contract sees the relatively predictable income flow, provides an offer, and you can get a cash advance in USDC against your royalties without selling or giving up your IP. Today, advances on royalties have to be only in big aggregate structures because you need a custodian and you need to pay the legal fees just for somebody to ensure your royalties are going to return to you after the loan has been reimbursed. So the entire transition to self-custody enables a lot of new models for monetization. So we'll dive into that in our presentation. We'll be very excited to meet all of you. And I also just want to say that apart from the amazing partners that are here to showcase with us and show you what's possible to build on the Original Works protocol and with the Revelator Labs tools, we also have 3 other team members here. We have Josh, our lead marketing manager, who came from Serenade. I don't know if you guys heard about Serenade, but they did amazing stuff with the music industry and digital collectibles. We have Arnau, who is native Barcelona entrepreneur, who launched Gudzu, which is previously, which was a NFT solution for the music industry platform, and also worked with Primavera, which I assume your natives are familiar with, and with Discogs. So a lot of experience both on the music side and the Web3 side. And Alejandro, our new, very new tech lead who comes from Stacks, if you're familiar with the Bitcoin smart contract protocol. He's going to be with us on Friday. And one of our main goals, also integrating with as many chains as possible and as many cross industry solutions, is to find the best solutions for scalability and privacy. And this is something we don't want to build in a silo. We want to put out to the community and get you guys excited about the opportunity that the music industry can bring. So anybody dealing with cross-chain and privacy solutions on-chain, we'd be very happy to connect and talk with you, and we're planning a few really interesting grant programs. So come talk to us, and thank you very much for the time and the stage, and enjoy the rest of the conference.